What if you could actually upgrade your brain? And I'm not talking about some magic pill. I mean learning the single most important skill there is, the skill of learning how to learn how to learn. So let's dive into the core framework from Jim Quick's incredible book, Limitless. The book kicks off with a really cool question, and I want to ask you the same thing right now. Just imagine a learning genie pops up. You get one wish for any skill, any subject you want. What do you pick? Learning a new language, mastering marketing, maybe learning how to code? Think about it. Chances are, if you really think it through, you'd ask for something bigger. You'd ask for the ability to learn anything faster, right? That's the ultimate wish. It's the meta skill. It's the superpower that lets you develop all the other superpowers, because once you've got that down, you can master literally anything else. Now, this whole framework, it wasn't cooked up in some think tank. It was born from real struggle. And to really get the solution, you've got to understand where the author, Jim Quick, is coming from. Can you imagine saying that to yourself over and over? Well, these were the words Jim Quick lived by for years. And this wasn't just a bit of self-doubt, it was a belief that was burned into his mind from a pretty traumatic experience when he was a kid. So when he was in kindergarten, there was an accident in the classroom that left him with a serious head injury. And afterwards, his ability to focus, to learn, it was just gone. Then one day, a teacher, probably out of frustration, pointed right at him and said, "That's the boy with the broken brain." And here's the really crucial part. That label, something someone else said, became his reality. He believed it. Every single time he struggled with something, he just thought, well, yeah, of course, my brain is broken. That one little sentence put a hard ceiling on his potential for years. So Quick eventually fought and defeated his internal villain, but what he argues now is that all of us, today, are facing a whole new set of villains, external ones that are constantly attacking our ability to think and to learn. And here's the good news, if you can call it that, the problem isn't you. It's not a personal feeling. It's the world we live in. We are just bombarded with information, with distractions. It makes it harder than ever to focus, to remember things, and to just think deeply. Quick calls these the 4 digital villains. First, there's digital deluge, that feeling like you're drowning in emails, articles, and data. Then you've got digital distraction, every single ping, buzz, and notification just shattering your focus. Third is digital dementia. This is a big one. It's how we've let our phones remember everything, so our own memory muscle just gets weaker and weaker. And finally, digital deduction, where we just let algorithms and technology do the critical thinking for us. Okay, so if we're up against all these villains, both inside our heads and out in the world, what's our superpower? What's the weapon we use to fight back? Well, the answer is the core of the book, The Limitless Model. And that brings us to a really important question. When you try to achieve something and you fail, where's the real limit? Is it your intelligence? Is it something you were born with? The big idea in the book is that the barrier is never some permanent flaw in you. It's actually just a bottleneck. It's a block in one of 3 key areas. And just knowing that is the first step to, smashing right through it. And this table here lays out the model perfectly. It's all about the 3 M's. First, you've got mindset. That's the what you truly believe is possible for yourself. Then there's motivation. That's the why, the deep down purpose that drives you to act. And finally, methods. That's the how, the actual strategies you use to get things done. The key insight is that real, lasting change only happens when all 3 of these overlap. So let's break these down a little more, because really understanding what each of these M's means is the key to making the whole system work for you. All right, mindset. This is the bedrock. It's all about going after those limiting beliefs you have. The I'm not smart enough, or I'm just a slow reader, or I'm bad with names. It's about breaking that trance of self-doubt. For Jim Quick, it meant finally unlearning the lie that he had a broken brain. Next up is motivation. Now, here's the big reframe on this one. We tend to think of motivation as this magical thing that just shows up, but it's not. It's not something you have. It's something you do. It's a process. It's like a fire you have to build and keep feeding. You actually generate it yourself. So how do you generate it? Well, the book gives us this simple formula. It's your purpose times your energy times small, simple steps. You need a powerful reason why you're doing something. You need the actual physical and mental energy to do it. And you have to break your goals down into tiny, achievable steps so you don't get overwhelmed. And that brings us to the final M, methods. This is the nuts and bolts, the how-to. See, you could have the most positive mindset in the world and all the motivation you could ask for, but if you're still using learning techniques from the last century, you're gonna struggle. This is where you learn the actual tactics for things like super focus, better memory, and even speed reading. And here's where the magic happens. When you get all three of these things working together, when you believe you can do it, you have a powerful reason to do it, and you know the most effective way to do it, that intersection is where you become limitless. They don't just add up, they multiply each other. So this book is more than just a bunch of information. It's really trying to frame your personal growth as a story where you are the main character. I love this quote from the book. It's the perfect way to think about it. For so many years, Jim Quick's life was defined by an outside force, that teacher's nasty label. But real change, real breakthroughs, they have to come from an inside force. They have to start with you. And that is the absolute core message here. You are not waiting for someone to come save you. You are the hero of your own story. This limitless model, think of it as a map. It's a guide to help you find and turn on the incredible superpowers that you already have inside you. Which brings us to the very end. The final question isn't about what you learned here today. It's about what you're gonna do with it. So, what's the first limit in your mindset, your motivation, or your methods that you're gonna start chipping away at? Because all great things begin from the inside. And as Jim Quick would say, your journey to becoming limitless, it starts right now.